Hey there, everybody. Welcome to my presentation. Today we are taking a brief look into G.H. Hardy, a mathematician, told by yours truly, Erica Gibb. So, who was G.H. Hardy? His full name is Godfrey Harold Hardy, but he did not like his first name, so he just went by G.H., and I will just be calling him Hardy throughout this presentation. He was born on February 7th, 1877 in Cranley, Surrey, England. He is most well known for his collaborations with John E. Littlewood and his mentorship of, and forgive me if I mispronounce this, Srinivasa Ramanujan. He is also the author of A Mathematician's Apology. So this is the man himself. This is G.H. Hardy. Fun fact, he did not like having his picture taken. So if you Google him, this is like the most you'll see of him practically. So the early life of G.H. Hardy. He was always good at math as a young child, but he didn't much care for it. You know, he didn't see the point in it or anything. He would much rather be out there playing cricket. And for those of you that don't know what cricket is, it's this picture that you see here in the right corner. It's got the little leather ball and the paddle. Don't ask me how they play cricket. I don't know. But he became a math major when he went off to college out of a sense of competition. He wanted to be better than all the other people his age. So he just saw it as a competition just to be better than everybody. He started at Winchester College in 1889, and then in 1896, he attended Trinity College, Cambridge, and both of them he had scholarships to. In 1898, he placed fourth Wrangler, which is the name they gave to someone that graduated with a first-class degree at Cambridge. His education and career, as we just said, he attended Winchester College and Trinity College. After that, he ended up becoming a teacher at his alma mater. And that was where he met John Edensor Littlewood. And they kind of became besties. They had a lot of collaborations with each other. They did a lot of good with their math work. He's most known for his relationship with Ramanujan. Later, he had said that his greatest achievement in life was discovering Ramanujan. And for those of you who don't know, Ramanujan was an Indian mathematician, insanely smart. He did a lot of good as well. His story is kind of sad. The ending to his story is sad a little. But just continuing off of that, Hardy and Ramanujan, they had their relationship, mentor-mentee. It all began when Ramanujan mailed Hardy 11 pages of math equations. No proofs, just 11 pages of straight equations, straight math. Normally, when a high-class mathematician such as Hardy gets these letters, they will not even read them. They don't even look at them. They'll just be like, oh, yeah, here's a bunch of gibberish. It's probably wrong. I'm not going to look through this and make corrections. I'm just going to send out this pre-filled letter and be on with my day. Well, in this case, Hardy actually read the letters and he saw a promise with Ramanujan and wrote him a letter back. So that's what started their relationship. They started with writing letters with each other until eventually Littlewood and Hardy were able to get Ramanujan a room near their own, and they would collaborate and work on projects together. This went on for about 5 years until Ramanujan fell ill and he had to go back home in order to get help or maybe some better food. The reason for this was because at the time it was World War One, and he was a vegetarian living off of war rations. So he was very malnourished, but they don't know exactly how he died. They just believe that it was malnourishment or some kind of disease like that he had contracted. So, as I had mentioned before, that Hardy is known for his essay called A Mathematician's Apology. So, right here we have a quote: I should not think it worthwhile to apologize for my subject if I regarded myself as one of its failures. I found this to be a very interesting quote. One thing that Hardy was known for was not really caring about his work. Well, obviously he cared because he made it. He took the time and did the research and made all this stuff, but he didn't think it was important. He didn't think that it would come to fruition or change the world in any positive way. He just thought it was a bunch of numbers and letters on a page, basically. But A Mathematician's Apology, it's an extended essay on why people study mathematics and the logical purity and its usefulness in daily life. What makes it very interesting, at least for me, is that, as a young child, Hardy did not really care for math. He wasn't interested. He always hoped that his work could never be applied. But when he got into his 60s or so, he was no longer able to do any of his physical activities. He couldn't go out and play his cricket anymore. Um, Actually making these research papers and stuff, it was too hard for him. He didn't have the mindset. So he went to journalism. He wrote this essay. And it was something he always told himself that he would never do because he thought it was so beneath him. But he ended up writing this, and it became pretty famous. Um, so I guess we'll move on to Hardy's contributions for the mathematical world. He is actually a founder of an entire branch of applied mathematics. Now, if you recall what I just said not too long ago, he hoped that his work could never be applied. He hated applied math. He loved pure math. The pure math was, in his words, beautiful. So he'd always hoped that it would never be applied, strictly pure. But in a game of cricket, another professor or colleague brought up a question to him, and he ended up coming up with this law about population genetics. So what he was hoping would never be applied, was strictly pure, ended up contributing to biology of all things too. It came up with the Hardy-Weinberg principle. You see on the picture on the left, it's basically just like your Punnett square kind of stuff. So we'll move on to his legacy now. So his legacy is mainly composed of two things: his mentorship of Ramanujan and his essay, A Mathematician's Apology. So these are the two main things that I talked about today because this is what he is mainly known for, along with his contributions to number theory and mathematical analysis. But these are his two main contributions, his main legacy, like what he's known for. So, onto his awards. He got a good handful of awards. He was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society in 1910. In 1920, he got the Royal Medal of the Society. 1940, he got the Sylvester Medal of the Society. And in 1947, he received the Copley Medal of the Royal Society, which is pictured there on the right, those two little gold coins. Fun fact about this one, he only knew about this one until about 3 weeks before he died. He had no idea he had won this until he was 3 weeks away from dying. He was the president of the London Mathematical Society from 1926 to 1928, and from 1939 to 1941. And in 1929, he received the De Morgan Medal of the Society. So, in case these questions do not make it to the discussion post, I have, why do you think that Hardy did not really care about his accomplishments? So remember that he always hoped that his work would never be applied. He did not think very highly of himself. He gave himself a rating of 25 out of 100 on intelligence. He did not think that his accomplishments were very great. Second one is, what is the significance of the Hardy-Weinberg principle? Remember, that's the Punnett square. Like, how does this change anything in society, especially since this is something with biology and we are researching math? How does math and biology interconnect? And the last question is that Hardy hoped that his pure mathematic research could never be used in applied math. Is that even possible, and why? Like, is it possible to have pure math with no application? And that is the end of my presentation today, guys. I hope y'all liked it. I hope I didn't bore you to death. Thanks for making it through. Much appreciated, guys. And we will see you later.